Shalom, this is Truth is Everlasting, Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sop. I camp out with Lion Den, Hawan Ben Yeshua in Jacksonville, Florida. But first I have to give a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the archons, and to the women and children in Paleo-Hebrew language. Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ha-Rokak Wadash Mahamat, in the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and in truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect. Double honors to the apostles of GMS. Double honors to the apostles of Lion Den's camp. Salutations to the archons who are on the four corners of the earth. And to the women and children, Shalom. Okay, I'm not going to read what's in front of me because you can see it for yourselves, right? But 2026 is going to get real interesting, right? On top of that, down here, before I even go into the lesson, let me open this here, but I'm only going to show it to you because I'm not going to play the whole video. I won't be able to. But right here, link to list of churches targeted by Tiny Hats, okay? When you open that, we'll show you the list of the churches of these pastors that maybe our people who are going to these churches do not know or don't know that their pastor were participating, right? These 501c3 incorporated Christian churches. In saying that, the title of this lesson is called Honor is Not Found Among the Wicked. Okay? I'll explain that in a minute. But first, let me play this because it's interesting. Here we go.
American Christian Zionist pastors and some influencers included as well spent a week in Israel on an all-expenses-paid trip funded by the Israeli Foreign Ministry. Now, why would they do that? Why? Why would they take that trip? You know why. We all know why. But in case you're still confused, Mike Evans, the evangelical pastor who helped organize this trip in the first place, will enlighten you. Okay, so he told the Christian Broadcasting Network the following, quote, "This is the first time in history that the state of Israel has officially partnered with 1,000 strategic pastors to commission them as ambassadors to combat anti-Semitism."
Oh, Slakia, disclaimer. Okay, all right, here we go.
And reach the youth of their generation. So they're just saying it out loud. So this isn't really about combating anti-Semitism. Let's put that aside. This is really about the fact that you have younger conservatives in this country really questioning the U.S. alliance to Israel, given everything that's been live streamed over the last 2 years, given all the money that the U.S. political system has funneled over to the Israeli government, given the fact that Benjamin Netanyahu is pushing for a 20-year deal in which the United States would send more and more military aid to Israel for 2 decades straight. That's how long that, I would be 60 years old by the time that deal is done with. That is insane, right? So what they're trying to do here is strategically target various evangelical churches where pastors have deluded themselves into thinking that the only way they could be considered good Christians is if they support a foreign country, a nation state, and just use them to propagandize their parishioners, I should say, their parishioners. And so it's very brazen. And what I love about this is its brazenness, because it allows us to know exactly what's going on. It allows us to point to who funded this. It's the Israeli Foreign Ministry, what their goals are, what their strategy is. The real question is which churches are included in this project. And we're going to get to that in just a minute. So if you're curious what kind of speeches were given at this event, the guy who recently had a clandestine meeting, a secret meeting, with a convicted traitor to the United States and Israel, Mike Huckabee, he gave a speech, unsurprisingly, and here's what he had to say.
That this is the land that God gave to the Jewish people. And he said he will bless those who blessed Israel, but he will
Salakia, how come he doesn't say the name of the God? That's only a title, right? I mean, if you're going to come up on YouTube, might as well be bold enough to say the name at least and show some respect. Salakia.
curse those who curse Israel.
Right. So that's the kind of messaging that they want to propagate all throughout the United States through these churches. So the Israeli Foreign Ministry has spent millions on propaganda campaigns targeting evangelical churches in the U.S., and it is being called something specific. It's being called the largest Christian church geofencing campaign in U.S. history, a project that was revealed by a federal filing under the Foreign Agents Registration Act. So at least in this case, there's a filing and there's some disclosure about the foreign influence of this program. Now remember, churches are tax exempt, and tax exemption means that you're not supposed to use your churches for political activism. Although
Boom.
churches do it anyway.
There we go. Let me just stop it right there. That's a big no-no. Okay? But they keep insisting that they follow the Bible, which is a big fat lie, because they are not the chosen people to begin with. Anyway, I want to go to Proverbs chapter 1, verse 10, because they're making it clear that they want our people, the so-called Negros, Latinx, and speckled birds, young men and women, to be the ones to go and fight for their cause, give their life to protect the imposters, the tiny, tiny hats. Verse 10, my son or daughter, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. There you go. Right? Don't do it. Now, don't get it wrong when I say this. I mean, you know, the wicked always wants to change out what we say and how we say it. If you get a drafting letter, you have to go to whatever office address they have, right? But if you Google it about the consent, how can I put it? Trick, right? When you're standing on that yellow line, look into, you know, in the internet information where if you cross that yellow line, when the cameras that they're going to have there to have proof that you crossed the line, saying that you will, you know, obey and join their group, best to take 2 steps back, raise your hand and ask them a very important question. Am I surrendering, you know, my God-given right? You know, you can even say the Yahweh Bashin Yahushai's name, so it can come out on camera. I'm pretty sure they're going to harass you or whatever they're going to do, but hey, look into it, right? And be careful with these lawyers. Cannot trust them. All right, now going to jump to verse 16. Salakia. For their feet runs to evil and make haste to share blood. Yeah. You know, it's interesting how these pastors that went over there are not taking into account that, you know, the title of this lesson, honor is not found among the wicked. You know, you cannot trust a wicked person. Just because they give you whatever amount of money or whatever promises, they still going to take you out. A matter of fact, to prove that right now, look what they are doing already in America for so many years, that they've been spraying poison in the air, in the water, in the food, in the land, in the clothes, in the money, and on the law, right? Because the Supreme Court doesn't do nothing about what's going on either, okay? But it looks like what they really want to do is put fear, right? Because, you know, they got the technology, they got the weapons. You know, we don't got that. We don't got the technology. We don't got weapons. We're not even sent out to build our army and go after the imposters. We are only sent out to go in the highways and byways and do the work of Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai, reading judgment to the wicked, to the heathens, and to our people, to 2/3 especially. right? But yet they keep saying that they're, you know, the chosen ones sent out to do all this kind of aggressive war around the world. Interesting, right? How our people agree and follow that. I want to go now to Proverbs chapter 10, verse 7. The memorial of the just is blessed, but the name of the wicked shall rot. Woo! You know, we're going to what the scripture saying in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And they don't want no one talking except only them. Right? The Bible does not belong to them, but hey, they want to keep insisting that they want to use our book. I want to go to Song, which is all right. I'm not saying to stop it. You keep doing what you're doing. Chapter 9, verse 5. We keep doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Verse 5, Thou hast rebuked the heathens, thou hast destroyed the wicked, thou hast put out their name forever and ever. And that's what they don't like. They don't want the real chosen people to stand up, the ones that are called to do the work of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Because we don't know, when I say chosen, we don't know who of our people is the 144,000 chosen elect, right? I can only hope and pray that I'm one of them. Verse 6, O thou enemy, destruction are come to a perpetuate end, and thou hast destroyed cities. Their memorial is perished with them. Woo! Yeah, and it came out a video now that has proof that they will even take out their own kind, their own people, right? Wasn't a lot of people from Israel leaving Israel? They don't want to be there no more, even though they get everything for free. They don't want it. Verse 7, but Yahushua shall endure forever. He has prepared his throne for judgment. Yep, that's right. Verse 8, and he shall judge the world in righteousness. He shall minister judgment to the people in uprightness. You know what just came to me now reading this part? Where's Vocab Malone? Vocab Malone, how come you was not invited to this grand event? I mean, you wrote a book about us, the so-called black Hebrew Israelites, when we're not black with different shades of color. You would think they would show you some respect, right? And I'm sure you can use the money. Something is not right. You might want to look into that, Vocab Malone. Song 112. Give me a minute. Verse 6. Surely he shall not be moved forever. The righteous shall be everlasting. Woo! Remembrance. Yeah. Now, of course, I know that, you know, we all, the so-called Negros, Latin American speckled birds, we are very aware, the ones that are doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, that they're going to be coming after us. Okay? And we're also very aware that the technology that they have, right? I mean, they've already done it in other cities, right? They can bomb buildings, okay? They don't have to come directly, you see? But, yeah, we're very aware that some of us are going to be taken, okay? But when they cross that line, and they very know this very well, it's when Yahweh Shai will be sent, right? Even though some of us will probably be taken out, that's okay. We'll be raising when Yahweh Shai comes back, okay? And then their last chess move on the chessboard, once they bring in the global cashless society, and then after that they bring the what they call it, mandate of the charagma. Okay, that's it. No more moves for them, right? They have trapped themselves up. That was verse 8. No, I read I'm going to verse 7. Sorry. He shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting in Yahweh Shai. Woo! Verse 8. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he see his desire upon his enemy. Yeah, that's what we're waiting for. Okay, for when Yahweh sends our King of Kings, Lord of Lords, to remove the blessing sword that the Edomites have and remove that kingdom from the face of the earth. Right? So, should I read? Okay, here it goes. Verse 9. He has despised, wait, Slaka. He has what? Dispersed. He has given to the poor. His righteousness endures forever. His horns shall be exalted with honor. Woo! Oh, okay. You know, high rank, high authority, right? Yahushua is going to prove to the whole world who his people really are and who is the owner of planet Earth. Verse 10. The wicked shall see it and be grieved. He shall garnish with his teeth and melt away. The desire of the wicked shall perish. So you can see why they're moving now faster and faster, because the end is getting closer and closer for the wicked, right? Even though they talk about 20 years this, 30 years that, no. The way they're going, ain't going to be going lasting for 20 years. At least we hope not, right? Only Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, know to what end they want this to go. Anyway, moving on to Proverbs chapter 24. Give me a minute. Chapter 24. Start with verse 1. Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them. So look at that. And these pastors, I guess, they read the Bible, but they don't comprehend. Because the true Holy Spirit in the name of Yahushua is not with them. You know, what's that guy's name? Huckabee? He just said the word God, which is only a title. He should just come out and be bold and say the name of his God. That's all. Verse 2. For their heart, their mind, study destruction, and their lips talk of mischief. Woo! That is so true. Right? They're not hiding it no more. They're making it loud and clear. Go out to the highway and byway and tell the people out there to shut up. We don't want to hear their opinions. Forget freedom of speech, right? Just do what you're told or else. Let's go to Psalm 37. Verse 1. And you know, they're getting the American people taxpayers' money, right? They're getting it in the what? In the billions, right? And look how they show gratitude. Huh? No positive attitude and no gratitude at all. I tell you. Okay, I start with verse 1. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. Verse 2. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Verse 3. Trust in Yahweh Shai and do good. So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Verse 4. Delight thyself also in Yahushua, and he shall give thee the desire of thy heart. Ooh, oh boy. Yeah. In sincerity and truth, we want Yahushua, that's our desire, for him to come back and remove this wicked kingdom from the face of the earth. Verse 5. Commit thy ways unto Yahushua, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Verse 6. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as noonday. Yeah, this is a done deal. This is going to happen. The wicked know it, and they cannot stop it. Okay? Verse 8, cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. Verse 9, for evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon Yahushua, they shall inherit the earth. It says nothing at all about us getting together, building an army, right? Building weapons, technology of of destruction, and going after wickedness. Nothing. Yet when they use our Bible, they come out with the what? Abraham. If you don't bless them, you be cursed. Well, they're not the real people that the Bible talks about, right? They're not the so-called Negros, Martinic, and speckled birds. You see? But that's okay. Song chapter 10. Is it song? Yeah, Slovakia. Give me a minute. Chapter 10, I'll start with verse 7. Oops. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Woo! Man, is that true or what? Let me jump to verse 2. The wicked in his pride do prosecute the poor. Yeah, that is so true. We are the poor, right? Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Woo! We don't got devices to take them away. They got devices, right? I want to jump to verse 15. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil men. Seek out his wickedness till thou finds none. That means remove them from the face of the earth. Verse 16, Yahushua is king forever and ever. The heathens are perished out of his land. What? Oh, wait. I mean, you can't beat the Bible, man, I tell you. Now we know who are there. They call them heathens, you see? Now let's go to Proverbs chapter 12. Give me a minute. I'll start with verse 21. I'm finishing. Slack is taking so long. I think verse 21. Yeah. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. Yeah. They can't help it. One thing that the wicked can honestly and sincerely say that they're being truthful when they say this phrase. When you ask them face to face, why you do what you do, they can come out and say, well, the devil made me do it. That you got to give to them. You see, hey, you're right. The devil that feels Yahweh Shin Yahushai has to do what Yahushai told the devil to do. Right? And then the devil tells his children to do what they got to do, just like the Holy Spirit of righteousness tell us what to do. You see the difference? It's not complicated. Verse 22. Lying lips are an abomination to Yahushai. but they that deal truly are his delight. Yeah. And you know, the wicked, they are born with lying lips. Okay? What can I tell you? I'm going to leave it with Proverbs. Oops, what happened here? Give me a minute. Proverbs chapter 3. I'll start with verse 21. My son or daughter, let not them depart from thy eyes. Keep sound wisdom and description. Now remember, the wisdom that the Bible is talking about is wisdom from above. It's talking about wisdom from the Bible, right? As you can see, these pastors that went there, these 501c3 incorporated churches, are not using wisdom, right, in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, number one, okay? And the ones that are imposters over there, the tiny hats, they, they use our Bible, but they're not using wisdom from above, okay? They're using their wisdom from below. Verse 29, devise not evil against thy neighbor. Woo! And they doing that. Seek he dwells secure by thee. Yeah, they don't care about our security, right? Verse 30, strive not with a man without cause if he has done thee no harm, right? In other words, we have the right to defend ourselves, okay? We and anybody else for that matter. But to go vengeance, to commit murder, no, that's a no-no, man. Anybody knows that. Verse 31, in what says? Evil thou not the oppressor. Did I get this right? Evil thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Verse 32, for the forward is an abomination to Yahweh Shai, but his secret is with the righteous. Woo. Verse 33, the curse of Yahweh Shai is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just. Now, people with their own eyes can look at what these Edomites and these tiny hats are doing, and they around the world, by the way, and they are not calling it what they're doing is a blessing, right? Verse 34, surely he scorneth the scorners, but he gives grace unto the lowly, and we are the lowly. Verse 35, and I leave it with this, the wise shall inherit the glory. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. Yep. Just when they thought that they have everything under control, wait till Yahweh comes back with the host of angels, with the army of angels. Okay? I hope that this was edifying, and with that I say, Shalom.